we all have our different definitions of success, but money is probably involved for all of them. Yeah?
Yes.
Some people might dream of a life serving lots of other people. And if it is, we're going to need some money to pay the bills. But we have a variety of different definitions of success. A lovely variety of different definitions of success. And we'll dive into that in a moment. Hi there, Adrian here, and this is a video from a Zoom session that we do. We do these Zoom sessions every Sunday, and we take questions and answers from the audience. Some of our students, some of our members. We never know what questions are coming up, so I'm always excited to do these sessions, and I hope to see you at one of them. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below and check out the other playlists that we have. Thank you, enjoy. First, I'd like to jump over to Sia. Sia has really excelled and has blown us away with some of her insights. So, Miss Sia, I see a high five up there.
Hi. Yes, I also want to share that money is very connected to our personal development. And also, for example, sometimes there are conflicting beliefs about money. So maybe one part of you has like good relationships with money, another one doesn't. So in my case, it was, when in the very beginning of my life, we still lived with my parents together, and we were one of the most wealthy families in my small town. So I had like 4 rooms apartment. I felt so privileged, but then so my mind kind of took a look at that. I have this belief, but then they divorced, and then all of a sudden I start eating with my mom from the chairs. We didn't have a table. So another belief. So in my mind, it's always a war between poverty and wealth, because I seen those two realities.
So I hear what you're saying, Sia, and there is so much more, isn't it? I mean, it's not just sitting at a table. It represents so much more. Perhaps your mum was thinking or saying things that you might not be aware of, but there's a lot more energy and things going on there. And I'm not sure, did you spend time with father as well?
Yeah, but it was not enough, because as I realized, I have more energy towards negative belief than positive, even though I'm moving to positive, but it's still not enough. Mm-hmm.
So you can have quite contrasting and conflicting beliefs, and wouldn't those beliefs obviously slow us down in our pursuit of prosperity?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if we want to create prosperity in our life, and part of us wants to have no money, money isn't important, I just want to help people, or I just want to, money's not important, and part of us says money is important, we're going to be creating internal conflict. And I'm wondering how many people see internal conflict already.
Makes sense.
You can share your window in chat.
Now, as we go along, feel free to share in the chat window. I warmly welcome you to share anything in the chat window. Darko and I will have a look, but we'll try to focus on what's here. So do feel free to conversate in the chat room. Now, what I'd like for you guys to do is, you guys got like a notebook, pens, things you can write in, or post-it notes?
Yeah.
Sort of thing? Okay, just in bullet point form, like bullet points. Hope anyone here doesn't do nonviolent communication. Any NVC people in here? Great. Nonviolent communication. Bullet points. Bullet. All right, so just with bullet points, I just want you to think and write down a couple of your first memories of money. you want to write down the year, like how old you were, and a couple of things about the memory. And whenever you think you're done, look at the ages, and is there something earlier? Is there something earlier when you were younger? There might be some very important memories from when you're in your teens. Yep. However, in NLP, we generally think the earlier the beliefs, not necessarily like a blanket statement, but the earlier tends to be more important. But if there's a lot of emotional trauma, like I remember when my wallet was stolen, I was 12 years old and my wallet was stolen, and the emotional impact, it was a moment. I got a really nice memory. I think I was about 7 years old, and I was with my 2 cousins who were older than me and my sister at the shop. And my cousin had more money than me because she had $5. She had $5 and she was a couple of years older than me. I had about $6.50, but she had more money than me because she had $5.
Yeah.
And I was just confused. Like, I was confident in myself, but I'm like, and that memory has stayed in my head for a long time. So,
But what if sorry, Adrian, but what if we don't have a memory?
If you don't have a memory, it might be good to go with one of our guys into trance. Because when you're more relaxed, it's actually easier to go further back. I was doing trance on the weekend with, who was I doing trance with? Who hypnotized me yesterday?
Jay and Bernadette, I think. Who's the other
one? Bernadette, she'll probably hypnotize me in the morning. So Jay took me back yesterday, and like I couldn't find bugger all memories. Hey Jay, I couldn't find the memories I was looking for, and after a little while, they started coming up. Now, just you guys mind sharing? What kind of ages do you have? Not the experience. What kind of ages do you guys have?
12.
21.
6.
Say 6?
6.
Wonderful, guys. The 14, 21, like my wallet was 12, that's important. The 6, the 7, the 8s, they could be more important. So I want you to look at your notes and see if you have anything earlier than that. Do you have anything earlier?
But
I'm sorry, what is your question?
Do you have anything earlier, like earlier when you were younger, when you were even younger?
Anything of what?
Younger than like minus 6 years old, like 4 or 3 or 2.
Yeah, memories involving money when you were a kid.
What if I didn't really remember that, but my uncle has told me that, like the story of the money, me with the money. Yeah, like 5 to 6 years old, but I didn't remember that.
I would write that down as well, but I'd be very tempted to open it. See, a lot of those memories are in your unconscious. They are deep down. It's just you don't access them often. Now, I'm in Australia, and this is our fiver. If I was to give this to Ben here or Melanie, they really wouldn't look at it. They would just take it. They would go, oh yeah, $5. Yeah. And in our memories, we know what this represents. And every time we see them, it reinforces the memory. Every time we see different amounts, it just reinforces the memory. Melanie or Ben, did you see what notes I just held up? Did you see what the note was? I just, yep.
50 and a 5.
Yeah.
See? Any non-Australian get that? No. See, I only flicked it up for a second, but Ben and Melanie know, and they probably just know by the color of it. Yeah? So the memories reinforce themselves over and over and over and over again. So when someone like perhaps Sia's mum, something, 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 and Sia's mum said something, 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 boom, over the years, it's been reinforced, 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 reinforced. It's been so reinforced that it's not even questionable. It's just a fact. So a lot of our earliest beliefs end up being reinforced so many times that we just take it as a fact. We believe as a fact that money doesn't grow on trees. But money does grow on trees.
Really?
I want to share, Adrian, something pop up in my mind.
Money does grow on trees. It's paper.
I have during my growing period, I have a different installment. So it is not that they are not growing good thing, but my father was very devaluating the money. He was saying, oh, $100, get it. And always he was disregarding. And I have believed that it is nothing. And going with that beliefs, as I was raising, I was going in depth. And once I realized, okay, this is his thinking, it is not me. And that's how I changed and start working more, we are saying, more smarter with the money. So
More
it is a big
smarter
difference.
with the money.
Yes, it is different. Someone is saying, no growing with the tree, and he was saying, that money, no, don't worry, just spend it. Just buy it, it is cheap. And it makes my, how to say, distortive thinking regarding money. Up to the moment I become aware. And he has the same thinking pattern, but he's old. He is not. The difference is because if you see how he was grown, my grandfather, he was very rich, and that's why my father has that kind of belief. But I was not able to go further with that belief. I need to make adjustment. I become aware about that in my 40s.
Okay, so as you wrote down those beliefs, I want you to think about others and take a couple of minutes to think about other beliefs. I'd like for you to consider, what about your mother and father? For those that had both, if you just had one. What did your mother and father think about money? I'd like you to write that down. What did your mother or father think about money? Was it a headache? Was it annoying? Was it something they had to do? Was it something they really enjoyed making? Did it bring them happy memories? Or did it bring them headaches? Did it cause them stress? Go on, have a bit of a deeper think. You're in a completely safe place. You're in a completely safe place. You're in your own home. Relax. Go back, way back. What did your mother and father think about with money? what other beliefs might have came up. And if anyone's feeling any tension, make sure you relax, because when we relax, this is more easy to come up. And after this session, you might like to, for some people, have a glass of wine. For some people, maybe 3. And consider the answers again when you're in a more relaxed state or in a different state. We got this thing called state-based learning. You know, when you're very relaxed and you learn things, they tend to go on and in a different level. So when we relax, some of those things. God, grandparents can be funny, hey? One grandparent used to give me $5 for doing all this work, and another grandparent would give me 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in my little mind, you know, 6, 7, 8 years old, 9 years old, looking at the difference. You know, one was more abundant, one was more scarcity, one was more a complete absolute charmer, an absolute charmer. And the other, well, who was also in the military with no rank. And the other one was like in the military with a higher rank and a political position, you know, afterwards. And the contrast is amazing. And I learned so much from them. And some of the things I learned weren't the best, but I was just a little kid. Now, as a little child, you take away whatever meanings. But with NLP, you can see different coaches. There are other modalities as well. But with coaching, you can take your coach, particularly if they're NLP or they've got some good work, you can take them and they can help change them. Because those beliefs you wrote down, where are they? In your where? In your head? Are they in your imagination?
No.
No, they're in the memory bank.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference?
They're real.
Oh, one's real. One's real.
One's in your subconscious and the other one's out here.
So what we can actually do is we can actually do processes where we can go back. And there's a variety of work for this. The easiest one, because we're using NLP, Gestalt therapy timeline. So you go back to when you're a little child and you dissociate and you see the younger you having that experience and you upgrade that experience or you change that event and you give that younger self the learning, and you might even give that learning to the adults. If you're doing NLP on other people, we call it re-imprinting. If you're just doing it yourself, it's normal timeline. And then you go back in and you associate and you see how it's different. And then you lock in that new memory and you come back to now. Very simple timeline process. Karina, you know, we learned that a couple of weeks ago and we'll cover that again soon. So with simple processes like timeline, we can actually go back and we can update those memories, which is why I actually had a session with Jay yesterday. I found a memory in my message bank that I wasn't happy with. I went with Jay on a hypnosis trip to update that memory. You see, in my memory, something happened. And there was a little boy there, being me. And the little boy didn't understand what was going on. And now this is a bit different to money, right? But in my memory, when I was about 5 years old, I went up to my mum's door, to the house, and I was playing a game. And I went knocking at the door, and my mum opened the door, and I wanted to play the game and show her this thing I learned at school. But in my memory, my mother was too tired or something, and I felt rejection. And I kind of kept this rejection. And this stayed deep in my personality. Do you think my mum really rejected me?
No.
No.
he's just retired, like tired. So
Yeah, no.
Tired, overworked, but not from my little boy's memory. In my little boy's memory, it was different. In my little boy's memory, it was rejection. And I know it's not real. I know it's not true, but that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep in the memory that I've been carrying for like 30 something years. Yeah. So 30 years I've been carrying this memory. And I know it's not right. I discovered it maybe a month ago. I discovered this memory. I'm like, oh shit, wow. So, you know, I've been carrying this memory for 30 something years, deep in my unconscious. Now I recognize it. I get on the phone, I call up one of the guys, and Jay gives me a trick. I go back, I just do that update process. I came back, I'm like, okay, that's better. That's so much better now. Now I recognize that she didn't, whatever, you know. So memory and imagination are very close. Memory and imagination are very close. When you look at those memories that you wrote down, if you think deeply about any of those memories that you wrote down, there's a fair chance that your imagination is going to start firing up. Yeah? Does anyone have a memory written down and they're at their own house or in a bedroom? Anyone got it? Yep. Okay, Ben, is there a house or a bedroom?
In the house.
I just want to check. Are you like 100% certain that all those memories in your memory are like 100% factual and like that's the exact colors of the wall and that's the light switch and that's what everybody was wearing and that's exactly what happened, or?
Pretty close to 100, yeah.
Well, what color undies were you wearing that day?
Don't know.
And that's what I did. Were you even wearing undies? But we remember the day so certain. We remember the day certain. We remember the day so certainly. But in actual fact, we don't even know if we were wearing undies. Our brains hold the memories with certainty, but it's not certain. If you look at a clock, and the clock's got the numbers, you generally can just see the numbers and you can tell the time. Does anyone actually look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? You know, we don't. We just look at the numbers and our imagination goes whoop, and tells us the time. Something like that. Yeah?
But it's not imagination, it's a fact. Right? If we look at the clock and we just right away, it's not our imagination. If it's 3 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock, right? Yeah, but if there was a clock with no numbers on it and it just had the hands, you would still know what time it was. Yeah, but my point is that we know what time it is. We think, but it's logic. We learned that it's logical.
And has anyone ever tricked you and changed the time? We used to do that all the time at school. Change the time.
No.
All right, so we hold on to the past like it's so factual, and it's not. It's not. It's not. And maybe Harry can say this a lot tidier than me in a moment. There's only this moment. There's only this moment. When we talk about the past, we recreate it. There's an absolutely fantastic Disney movie, Inside Out. If anyone liked to Inside Out, if you got kids or cousins or something, you got to watch this movie. It's a Disney movie. And in the movie Inside Out, there's a train of thoughts. Anyone remember this train of thoughts? Harry. The train of thoughts. The train is going in and the train has a pile of boxes. And in the boxes, there are opinions and facts. And what do they say? Opinions and facts often get confused. They don't know if there's opinion or facts. Opinions and facts are often confused, and our imagination and what's real is not is so merged. There is so much, yeah, but our logical, our left brain, not the right, our left brain logic says this is mathematics, this is logic, this is reality. Our right brain has a lot more relationships and big picture. Yeah, so when we look at our whole brain in a more holistic picture, our past and our memories, it's a combination of constructing, remembering and constructing, remembering, creating. Yeah, remembering and creating. So with that, why don't we just create better ones? Why don't we create better ones? Because we live in the moment, we live in the present, and we want to get ready for the future.
Yes.
So if we want to live in the present and get ready for the future, then these things in the past can just be roadblocks. Now, Harry, what do you say about moment and past and maybe changing your past?
Well, your moment is your present time. So you can change it, you can move forward. The past is what's already happened. But like me, my mum always said to me, pounds make pennies, right? So from a young age, I found, this is my first recall, I was on holiday, I found £10. And what did I do with that £10? I shared it with my brother. So we bought something together at that time, and then now, without fail, every single day now, I walk on the street, I find a penny. I walk to the shop, I find a penny. I'm creating the scenario and it's happening now. So I've taken that from finding that £10. Now I find 1 penny and it will make £1. And my mum goes, how are you finding all these pennies? I says, because the creation I visualized, I shared it, and it's making this £1. So I'm creating abundance of cash. My girlfriend, she found €50. We shared that and we went out and shared it with everybody else. We created abundance of having fun. A person on the street was homeless. He said, can you give me some cash? I looked on the floor and found 10 pence and went, there you go. I have no cash on me. I created money in front of him and put it in the pot. So by creating abundance behind you, you're creating abundance now, which then you walk out the street and you found that extra penny. You can, and normally I give it to a person. If not, I've got a pot on my side, and every year I see how many pennies is in that pot. And normally there's 300 pennies in that pot out of 365 days of the year. So it's not bad going.
Wow.
So we want to create a past that supports us. And any memories that are in the way, we want to work on and change them. Any unresourceful memories, got a pile of clients that in their past, they've lost money and their parents have told them things like, oh, you're no good with money. They've got this little bit of bad programming that's gotten in, and this bad programming has stayed in there. And wiping and removing that programming with NLP or coaching or mindfulness has been super powerful for them. So a lot of us do have stuff like, you know, little memories of being told we weren't good with money or money doesn't grow on trees, and all that stuff are roadblocks, but we can turn them into gifts. We can turn all those roadblocks into gifts. In fact, in the shadows is where the gifts are. Now, Miss Sia.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if the memory is unreliable, and we don't remember the facts, maybe it is a lie. But there is a feeling. For example, in my past, I don't remember exactly what happened, like in my childhood. And I can, say something like, oh, my parents are so bad, blah, blah, blah. But I don't remember what they actually did. But if there is a feeling that it was not like happy, for example, how do we do that? Like, how do we change that? Do we change the feeling too?
Let's change it all to support us. Let's just change all of that past to support us. If we're going to be creating more money in future, which you all deserve, you do deserve more money, yeah?
Yeah.
Wealth is like health. It's your birthright. Yeah? Wealth and health. I don't know. I haven't researched the names. I haven't researched, but wealth and health are so close. There is exactly in parallel, aren't they? Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, there are so many similarities around it, but we deserve good health. We deserve good wealth. But you know what takes you away from good health? Getting sucked into watching endless Netflix, or getting sucked into a world that sucks you dry rather than fills you up. Exactly the same with wealth. People can get sucked into a world that drains their wealth. And it could be the same thing. Netflix taking $10 a week. It can be little subscriptions taking money. Yeah. And just as we can get healthy food and learn and have the discipline to take on a good diet, we can do the exact same thing with wealth, can't we? Learn and take on a good diet. Yeah. So if you can master one, you can master the other.
The other one. Yes.
If you can master one, you can master the other. Yeah. So maybe you want to increase your chances. Now, Annabelle or Estrelita, anything you guys want to share? I think, Annabelle, I saw your hand raised before.
Okay. So I remember before when I was 7 years old, when people are coming to festival, my aunts and my uncles, if they wanted to buy something in a grocery store that they forget something they are cooking and they forget some ingredients, they will ask me to buy in the grocery store. And then the change, they are not getting it back. They giving it to me. Yeah. So now I realize when you were just talking earlier, that belief actually made me that I really work hard for money. Yeah, when you do something, then you can gain money out of it. And I brought that until I grown up. And when I was also young, my mom would say, for example, we have this piggy bank. Yeah, uh, me and my brothers and sisters have piggy bank. But sometimes when we get sick, then we need to open that piggy bank. And my grandmother would said, "Did you have a piggy bank? Maybe that's the reason why your kids got sick." So it's a superstitious belief in our province of the old ones. Yeah. So I just realized that maybe that is the reason why that I prefer to work to earn money rather than saving and investing to earn money. So I think that belief I have to resolve from my grandmother, from that superstitious belief and the actual fact that if I work for something, then I'm going to earn money. So I think that's my thing for tonight. So I have to erase that, change that belief.
Just made me realize something. Why piggy banks?
Yeah, that's
why banks?
no, because in our place, if you take care of pigs, if you have piggeries, then that is a sort of as another source of income, like a side hustle for families living in the rural. So
okay, Annabelle,
that's
thank you very
why.
much. Someone from more of the West, how about over in Canada or in Europe? What about piggy bank? What does piggy bank bring up for you, having a piggy bank?
Saving.
Piggy bank.
Oh, a pig. Ah. A pig.
Yeah, pig.
Yeah, it's a pig. Piggy bank.
When you
You
think
look at
about
Karina's
it.
face, I'm thinking like, pig. I don't want a pig.
It's
It's like, yeah.
true. Why a pig? You're right. Why not a horse?
But well, now it evolves. There's horse. There are some other pets now.
No,
But it's
no,
usually originated in pig, like we really call piggy banks.
yeah.
Some people will think that a lot of society may be engineered to make an employee class. Some people think, like maybe a quarter of my friends, more so a quarter of the people I hang out with nowadays, a lot of them really believe that society is designed to make employees, not wealth. Wealthy people are harder to control. So it could possibly be in the best interest of some societies to keep hierarchies in place. And I was reading a book by Noam Chomsky, who I think is about 90 years old. And he was writing, and he referenced a book that was 200-300 years old. And he referenced this book that was 200-300 years old, saying that the education system was designed to keep social classes intact. Yeah. Education system designed to keep social classes.
Makes sense, yeah.
Hundreds of years ago.
Wow.
Harry?
Funny you should say that. In England we have Halifax, and as a kid I had a house made out of plastic, which was symbolized like a piggy bank. And then my grandma, my nan, used to put money in this house for me and my brother. We had a house each, so we were saving money, well, buy a house. And now my brother's like saved up to buy a house, and I'm more still interested in traveling and moving all over the place. So obviously that implanted on my brother, obviously more than me, because I've traveled a lot more and lived with rent a lot more than he has, apart from being a student. So yeah, we had a Halifax. And then I remember the cat with a superhero outfit and flying and saving this money in this house.
You know, if anyone is interested in saving, by the way, savings is pretty much a waste of time. But it's not really, you know, there's other things to it. But if you're a child saving money like we are in Australia, we have a Dolomite account, and, you know, we put a little money in this Dolomite account, and after 20 years, a little bit of money gets a bit smaller because of inflation.
Inflation.
But hey, 20 years of saving, and yeah, so the way around it is to buy money in to spend the money in bank shares instead, and to keep buying bank shares. The education system could well be designed to hold us back. Someone else want to share on this? I'm going to grab something for a second. Someone else want to share?
Regarding savings,
I wanna share quickly because I'm leaving China soon. Many people, especially from Russia, they come to China just to earn money. And some told me, if you didn't buy the apartment during your living in China, it means that you wasted time. It's like, you know, you should work you just need to work and save and buy apartments. And I'm just like, I feel uncomfortable about it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, here too, yeah. People, yeah, everybody say you're wasting money. The money you put in rent, you could be putting it in the house. But a house has so.
Some of these Chinese families and some other families as well, around the kitchen table or around the dinner table, they'll talk about money.
Mm-hmm.
Some families will really openly talk about money and some won't. In my culture, it's not cool to talk about money. But my mum and dad said, no, it's important. We want to talk about money at the table so you kids learn. And it's funny because my sister and I learned very different things. Anyone besides Hannah seen this game?
It's
No.
like Monopoly.
Cash flow.
No, Rich
Cash
Dad,
flow.
Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. This is a big game about learning how to start investing. I first bought this game in 1999, and I had no one to play with for like 5-6 years. It just sat in the cupboard. Some people played that at our house up in Shanghai, and Hannah, Oscar still says like that game blows him away. He played it like twice. Dr. Oscar, he's got an AI company now, artificial intelligence company, and he puts a lot of thanks down to the coaching and this game. Now, the creator of this game is a guy that made the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And Robert Kiyosaki tried to introduce this into all the schools in America. 20-something years ago, I was reading his books, loving it, and he was trying to get the game into the school system. Completely failed. The creator, one of the co-creators of NLP, I was blessed to study under both creators of NLP. And one of them, Richard, was trying to bring communication skills into the school system in America. Completely failed. Wyatt Woodsmall, one of the other big guys in the field, completely failed. I'm not sure if it was Wyatt or Richard, but they applied to bring in people into the school. Some of the people they were bringing into the school were Nobel Prize winners. School system said no, they don't have degrees in education. Nobel Peace Prize winner could not come and educate kids because he didn't have an education degree, but he had a Nobel Peace Prize. So when people tell me that the education system might be designed to make employees, hey, I say it's up to us to re-educate ourselves. Yeah, because the school won't do it. Families won't do it. It's up to you. And you can probably find in your city, be it Shanghai, I don't know about San Sebastian, but Barcelona, UK, you might be able to find groups of people playing this kind of game. Yeah, you might find groups. And what you might want to do is consider meeting those people. I just met a gentleman at the sauna yesterday, and he made a pile of money and lost it. And now he's building like a 16-level apartment complex, 16 apartments or something. He's back on. He's really into that kind of stuff. And anyway, there are people that get together and really develop their financial intelligence. So we're talking about NLP, right, and psychology. This kind of stuff is making it really clear that the models we've had in our life, the models we've had, be it mum, dad, grandparents, uncles and aunties, they've tried to set us up for success. I hope. They've tried, and so have some of the teachers you've had at school. But there's a fair chance that these people that you may have been watching as a kid, there's a fair chance that most of them didn't really make it financially. Maybe some of them did. And if some of them did, it might be really good to go back and think about what you learned from them as a good resource. But when I look back when I was a kid, I didn't have any rich people around. I had to go find them. But the good news is I found them. Today, it's so much easier. When I bought my first houses, the internet was just starting. There was no kind of, internet and forums were just starting. Now is easier than ever. You just go like meetup.com, search cash flow or investment groups, but don't invest money because there are a variety of scams out there people doing different get-rich-quick schemes, but just go in, listen, play, meet some people, talk about money, and talk about, this is a question you might want to write down. Ask your friends, what does financial success mean for you? What does financial success mean to you? So what does financial success mean to you? And I'd like to ask a couple of you now, what does financial success mean to you? And may I ask someone that hasn't shared yet? Hi.
Healer. Healer, I think you, yes, please.
May I share? Yes. So what I believe that financial success is to create wealth from within, which means that you create your own wealth in a sustainable and healthy way. So you don't have to depend on your employer, your parents, the government to make your own money. And then when you create that money, you feel that you don't have to fight far, but it's easy and it's harmonious. And it gives you joy to create that abundance.
Beautiful. I like the end of it as well. Say it again, the last bit.
What did I say last week? That you don't have to fight or to struggle to create that abundance. And also, yeah, what I mentioned, for me, it's important to create that from within, so you don't have to depend on the government. You don't have to depend on an employer to create your own wealth. And then when you create it, it's harmonious and it brings you joy.
brings you joy. How nice is that?
But it's hard to, that's what I believe, but I don't know how to get there. So this is what I aspire to have, but the how is what I'm struggling with.
You know a few practices to get you started there, Hannah, I'm sure. Practice one, though. Write down your definition. Write down your definition of financial success. Maybe write down your definition of wealthy. And if in your definition of wealthy, it means you're a wanker, get rid of that crap. If there's anything negative in it that you don't like, cross it out and make it nice. We also want it in the positive, okay? We also want it in the positive. So, for example, I'm not struggling. I hear you, I'm not struggling. Rather than saying to ourselves, I'm not struggling, we want that in the positive. So what's I'm not struggling stated in the positive?
It's like
I'm comfortable.
I enjoy.
Comfortable. Joy. Hannah?
State of flow.
Beautiful.
I'm overcoming.
You can write
I'm
down those
enjoying.
negative things, Say it again, Estrelita.
I'm enjoying.
I like that.
Enjoying. You can write down I'm not whatever, but then think about what that would mean if it was in the positive sense. And what
I like the word abundance.
Beautiful word, isn't it? Abundance. That might not resonate for everyone, resonates with some of us. And then you should be able to kind of say it in the mirror. And if you struggle with saying it in the mirror, work with a coach. If you can say it in the mirror, that positive thing, and repeat it, you're doing well. If you want to practice, you can just do it home. Once you get the new definition that you're happy with, you can actually just use your left brain logic and keep crossing it out and rewriting it till you have a sentence or two you're happy with. And then you can say it in the mirror. You can stand up and just say it out loud in your room. Say it till you're comfortable with it. Repeat it. till you're comfortable with it. There are some other things. What do you call them? Affirmations.
Affirmations.
We got to be careful with affirmations, right? If I'm looking in the mirror saying, I'm a hot chick, I'm a hot chick, I'm a hot chick, there is going to be a voice in my head saying, you're full of it, you're full of it, you're full of it. And I'm going to get back mixed messages. Yeah, incongruency. Some people, I got this one guy, he was out to like here, big guy, and he was doing affirmations saying that he was fit. What he was really saying was, I'm full of shit. Because when he was saying I'm fit, he knows he's not. So it's just creating conflict.
Okay.
Instead, he just needed to change the affirmation a little bit to I'm getting healthier.
Okay.
Or I'm taking healthier steps. Yeah. The message has to come back, and we want that message to come back true and congruent. And when it comes back true and congruent, it reinforces itself. If it comes back, you go, no, you're not. It's going to reinforce. It's going to reinforce resistance. There is no pain in change, only in resistance.
Yeah.
There's no pain in change, only in resistance. And good news is when you're doing changes in health and wealth, you're only getting yourself on a higher level. So any resistance is where the pain normally is. Sometimes we're facing harsh truths, but then we get through to the other side. Now you see in the chat window something from Sia there? I easily make money. I like that. I easily make money. I'm abundant. Money comes and goes easily and naturally. Money flows through me. Money comes, it goes easy. I like to keep a little money around. Ben, please don't break in. It's only a little bit for you. Does anyone keep money in their handbag or their little purse? Anybody keep money in there?
Yeah.
Depends on the country.
How much?
In China, I don't.
Yeah.
No more money in China, hey? I only got tickets.
Me, I put money and I keep it very nice and tidy in a very secret place of my wallet. Yeah, and I tend to forget it. And my husband was telling me, you're just fooling yourself. Because my belief is, if, for example, I run out of money, then I know that I can go anywhere of all my wallets. I'm sure that I have something from there. But still, my husband, no, you're just fooling yourself. But it works
Does it
for
make
me.
you feel more secure?
Yes, it works for me.
Great.
And
So does
I
anyone
want
else
to share
carry
something.
money?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
sometimes
Blair.
he's also correct because I know I kept and I just decide to forget and go back after some time.
If anyone does carry money in their wallet, I'd like for you to double it. So there's a book, and some people put $50 in. I would put like $500 in or something, or put in $100. A couple of weeks later, put 150, then 200. Increase it. One thing I did was I got a chunk of money out, and I had a pile of money sitting right underneath my computer. And yeah, I know it's not safe, but I had like 10 grand Australian just sitting on my monitor, for like a month. And yes,
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
My children's mum would take from it. And now and then she would come and she would take one, and I'd have to be like, relax, plenty more where that came from. Yeah. Relax. Plenty more where that came from. But it really helped feel abundant, and feeling abundant attracts abundance. For the new coaches out there, a big thing, that's a big scary thing with coaches is a lot of coaches end up in a needy space. Yeah. And that's not cool. So coaches, when they end up needy, not very nice. Yeah. It comes across.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you exactly mean by needy?
If you need your client or if you need the money, your energy can come across being needy.
Yeah.
And we're going to be like not needy, happy to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I don't need your business. I'm running a business, whether you like it or not. I'm growing success. My clients are moving places. You're in this boat, you're not. If you're not, that's cool. Harry?
My mum this morning, she says, "Oh, I'll give you some money so you can advertise on Facebook." I says, "No, I don't want it." I says, "It'll happen naturally when it's supposed to." She went, "Okay, but thank you for helping me."
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
And why did you accept it just to be receptive to abundance? I'm just wondering.
I didn't accept it because the way I see it, it will happen naturally. And I am getting clients slowly but surely, but at some point we'll create this snowball effect. When the snowball effect happens, I'm going to have an abundance of clients coming out of my ears and only two hands, and then I'll have to hire staff. I'd like to create a slow abundance so I can actually enjoy the process of it happening. My mum was giving it me to make it happen more quickly, which I wanted to enjoy the process of it actually happening. I said, thank you.
Maybe that money wasn't coming from a very pure place, but maybe it has maybe a little bit of fear behind.
My mum sees it as if you put money into an investment, you will see an outcome, which in most times that will happen, but within Facebook, it doesn't, it just creates followers. And I want clients. I don't want people that follow me, only if they're going to become clients. My mum sees it from a different perspective, but I still said thank you.
Other things.
Sorry, go Darko.
Yes, I want just to go. Other thing which is important we can use for money is using imagination. So how we want to be and how we want to experience different. It is another thing. Affirmation is one of the things how we are talking about ourselves, but imagination is also something that can move us into the directions we want to go. So maybe trying imagining the clients, your discussion with the clients, the way you are talking with clients, it is useful, and it can be at least 10 minutes in daily routine.
A lot of the more traditional mindset, and I tried this myself, like as well, traditional mindset, like back in the business days, you know, you got a business, you increase marketing, you get more leads, you get more business. So you just put money in. But for coaches, it's a lot more complex than that. If you just throw money into Facebook, if you just hire a superstar virtual assistant, there's a fair chance it won't create the return. It's getting more and more complicated. The game today is more complicated than it ever has been.
It's true.
So,
You said it. It's true what you said, Adrian, for a coach not to come from a place of need. And I think it's important to catch ourselves as coaches. When you feel that energy, you take a step back, because you don't want that energy to be transpired to others. So just take a step back and reassess.
take a step back, reassess, look. Is there a trigger in there?
Yes.
Am I responding? Because the amount of negative triggers that I have after years of work, you know, they're getting down. I'm getting less and less triggers. We have so many triggers. Just think, when's the last time you blamed someone for something?
Well, I don't understand the point of your question.
Our minds are full.
Yeah, I got
And
that.
the more personal development work you do, the less you have, particularly with like NLP, collapsing anchors and whatnot. So we have a pile of negative triggers and we might blame other people. Like me, I was just saying it's complex. And by the way, it is complex, but it's also simple. It's complex and simple at the same time. Making money is simple and parts of it are also complex. We've got to handle the paradox. I really 100% truly believe, this is what I can put my hand on my heart, the most strongest for everyone, is that the more we work on getting rid of our own triggers and inefficiencies, the more we'll be able to focus on prosperity. So the first kind of thing we want to look at is cleaning up our past history, cleaning up all the past stuff and improving our definitions. Cleaning up all the past, we're getting the wheel smoother. After or in the process, we've got to start looking at what's our real purpose. What's our purpose? When we start working with our purpose, we start working with this area, our heart area, our emotions. So now if we can do our work and feel great afterwards, I mean, look, this class, this session might finish up in about 10 minutes, guys. It might finish up about 10 minutes. And afterwards, I'm going to feel great. I'm going to have a glass, sit outside, enjoy myself, go to bed, going, yeah, you know, I'm going to wake up in the morning and be like, I'm ready, because this is all in the right place. So clear up the past, work on the heart space, the purpose and everything. That way, when we go to work and we work hard, we get into flow. I think Hannah said flow. Mihai, Csikszentmihalyi, flow. There are very, very worthwhile book reading. Flow. Getting into flow, there's a few concepts we won't carry here, but you'll live true to the concept of flow and you get in a flow. Now, this means that your obstacles are gone and you can work smoothly. So you now have a wheel that can go smoothly. But there's more to go. The next part of the process is being able to exchange your value for money. Yeah, and if you try to exchange your value for money and you have this shit in the past, it's going to be a hard process. But if you go to exchange your value for money and you've cleaned up your past and you're feeling abundant and you're not needy, it's going to be a lot easier for you to do the transactions. Whether you're selling coaching or McDonald's, doesn't make a difference. It'll be a lot easier for you to sell yourself to create value with your stuff tied up. But perhaps you're not selling yourself. Maybe you're working for another company. Okay, so you're working in another company and you're working smoothly. You're able to be abundant. You're able to see your value and your worth. Another key value there might be seeing that you're worthy. It may be seeing that you're worth 6 figures or you're worth whatever, right? This is again. So once you get this stuff set up as an employee or selling yourself, you're able to work effectively. The next big part of it is actually creating the prosperity, changing your time or your work for money. And for that, we might need partnerships. Yeah. Partnerships, strategies to scale, those kind of things. Might mean having a different business model, one you can scale. But there's not a lot of point working on this business model if we've still got all that stuff in the back. So it is a bit of a process, like 1, 2, 3. The last step in that 3-step process for prosperity, partnerships, systems. Don't worry about buying a big CRM or maybe investing in your business if you've still got a lot of that stuff not figured out. When you've got your purpose, and you live true to your purpose, it becomes easier and easier to work. So then you put money into marketing and you're able to deliver. You get sales calls and you can deliver and follow up. Imagine you put money into a marketing campaign and then you start getting procrastination, self-sabotage or fear, and you can't take the call or you can't sell. That happens a fair bit. So kind of the last part in the process, partnerships. And when you get those partnerships, if you're able to work smoothly, like I'm able to sell myself, you can create a partnership with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I was just mentioning this to one of our beautiful students yesterday. She's an artist. As an artist, if she can get into flow, she can work smoothly. But if stuff from her past comes up, she'll get like writer's block or artist block. So if the stuff from the past is sorted out, she can get into the flow and make masterpieces. But the thing is, for her to make money, she really needs to partner with someone. Partner with someone that can sell the masterpieces. Yep. So once we've cleaned up the past and we're getting in a place of abundance and high worth, imagine the networking differences. Imagine the networking differences. So you go to a networking event, and your confidence is low and you get triggered by people easily. And you're not sure of your worth and what you can do. Yeah. You know, the people you're going to network with, they're going to be with the back of the crowd. But if your confidence is high, you've worked with yourself, you sorted out your triggers, you're going to be networking with the people in the front row, the more high net individuals. And the partnership levels up there will be vastly different from the partnerships back there. That's where we want to get up to.
So
That will make wonderful sense.
yeah.
I heard a church on it. Hallelujah.
Yeah, it's true.
Harry, you were in about something to say?
What?
Harry was asking for talk.
Harry,
Oh,
Sue?
it's when Adrian said you can
Yes.
work as a life coach or McDonald's. Well, I've done both. I had 400 donuts. One donut cost 50 pence. I was a assistant manager. I created a marketing sheet of paper for every person that came to a till. They sold 2 donuts for £1. It took me 2 hours with all my staff to empty 300 donuts, and we had to defrost more because I believed I could do it. I told my store manager this is what I was doing. I went, "You're crazy." I went, "No, give me 3 hours," and I did it in 2, and we got rid of all the donuts in store, and we delivered the next morning the same. I also did another thing. My store manager is a huge football fan, and we had a competition with fantasy football with McDonald's. And I said, I can beat you. I did not only beat her, bearing in mind I don't know anything about football. I won 5 tickets to Portsmouth and Manchester United playing together at Wembley Stadium. And I created basically to go to Wembley Stadium. I wanted to go to the new stadium without paying for it. This is my thought, and I wanted to win my store manager. I didn't only win my store manager, I got 5 tickets, which I offered to her. I took 2 staff members, my girlfriend at the time and me, and we went down to Wembley Stadium. I made that happen through not because I knew about football. I looked at the statistics and made it happen, and I won, not for my birthday as well. So it's, if you believe in yourself, you create that abundance, and I've done it time and time again.
Believe, believe, believe. We need to believe. We need to believe.
And I
Believe is
don't know
so
anything about football, but I still won my fantasy football. And it
I'm
took
kind of
me,
laughing because the last time I went, I had 6 free tickets to the football, which is something similar. There, we have a belief up here about wearing masks, and I don't wear masks up here because I'm in a tropical region where there's full sun. I might have just had that thing. I don't know. Just had one of those close contacts, but we don't give a damn about those things because we're in the sun and it's like 40 degrees here most of the time, right? And I ended up getting 6 free tickets to the game. Anyway, belief is critically important. Now, I've got one more thing to share, and I've got a resource as well. Would it be okay if Darko here quickly shares with you guys something about our next training?
mm-hmm.
Okay, wonderful, Darko.
Yes.
Just before you do, Sue, I used to believe in hard work. I still do believe in hard work. I do believe in hard work. However, hard work on a business model that doesn't make it. I remember having an IE, like a cleaner, right? And I used to pay my cleaner whatever kind of money. And I would have paid her double the amount if she would have just done a bit more. But she would always leave and want to run out the door and run to another job. And she would have to, transport half an hour, get to another job where she was paid a similar salary. I would have paid her twice as much. If she could just sit down with me and explain to me a few words in Chinese. The thing was, she was so busy working hard, she missed the money. She couldn't see the opportunities right in front of her because she was working too hard. Don't work too hard. A lot of the working class typically get trapped in this cycle of working harder and harder. It's a trap. The harder people are working, the less likely they are to stand back and, oh, hang on, shortcut. Yeah. So we've got to make sure we don't work too hard. Ensure we have time to reflect back. How much money have we made? How hard was it? What did I enjoy doing most this week? What increased my energy? What depleted my energy? All the jobs that deplete your energy, we want to get rid of. Obviously, right? The jobs that deplete, they're the ones we've got to get rid of and don't do. My marketing sucks. Well, no, it doesn't totally suck. Estrelita's marketing, Annabelle's marketing, great. My marketing. They keep telling me, do Facebook Live. I'm like, no, I don't feel like it. I don't want to. I'll get on the phone and I'll talk with Jay or Karina. I spoke with Karina like 1 a.m. her time. I would rather serve my clients because that's where my energy comes up. I serve my guys all the time. You're far more like, you'll see me maybe 4 times a week on the phone to one of our students, but I'll do a Facebook Live maybe once every 2 weeks. Facebook Live may be good for marketing, but it brings my energy down. I serve my clients, I serve our students, energy up. So I just focus on that. And most of our business comes from referrals anyway. No one really comes from Facebook Live. Now, Darko, if you could, just keep it quick. We've only got maybe 5 minutes.
Okay. So just to share the screen. As I was talking, we are organizing, we are teaching our students in NLP technique. So NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and I like this approach very much in personal development because it is science-based. So it has a great background behind NLP, and during the training we are using skills, developing skills which are ready to use. So immediately after 3 or 3 training classes, the students are able to start their to use their NLP skills and to help themselves or other people. And it is noticeable by the surrounding.
We get our people to start working with clients. We get our people to start working with people at the start rather than at the end. At the start of training, get people to work with. Don't wait till the end. We do it at the start.
Yes. So our 2 years ago, it was when we were discussing with Adrian, we decided to create this NLP training, and we were talking and said what is missing on the market, and what we found out is that practice is what is missing. So additionally with the training, we have time which are opening with which I'm doing mentoring and allowing space for students to practice their skills. Our training is with blended. So we have Zoom sessions once per week. Then we have MP3, and we are allowing the students to communicate themselves. So it covers all things which are needed for delivering a good training, which is, I can say, it is not much present on the market.
Boom! You made it here! Good on you. Make sure you click the subscribe button below and check out the playlist at the end. If you'd like to come along to our Sunday sessions where we host a live free Q&A for our students and members, you're welcome. I'll see you there.